Hello everybody, welcome to the channel once more, and today I'm going to show you the game which I played with black. Let's straight on start with the game. So king's pawn opening by my opponent. I'm playing back, so I also give a response with king's pawn opening on e5. King's knight variation. So reply with king's knight variation, and this is the Italian game, and the response that I give for the Italian game is with my pawn at the left on h6. There comes another pawn, and I move my second knight. Here he activates his bishop, but he can't come here because of this pawn, because I had brought up this pawn up, that's why. So he cannot come here. So basically, why did he activate it? He can only come in this position, and he can come in this position. I move my pawn further up, so now it's my turn to activate my bishop over here, and I am planning to pin the white horse of my opponent here. I want to pin it. That is the idea in my mind. He castles. I pin the horse, as I was telling you. He brings the rook to the center. The idea now I have in my mind is to develop a strong line of attack in this direction. The reason being, the attack in this direction I want. The reason being, I want to dig a few holes to the king's defense over here. And he brings his pawn up. He's kind of helping me because I don't mind eating that pawn, and I want to sacrifice my bishop over because I want the defense for his king to be weakened. So he doesn't take my bishop with his pawn, but he brings his knight. I capture his pawn, which is just in front of the king, and he eats it up. And at this point in time, if you see, his king is pretty vulnerable to the left side. So I want to launch a strong attack from the left side. So I move my pawn to the left forward from h6 to h5. He tries to support his king here with the rook, and also he wants to create a passage of escape for his king, but I don't care. I move my pawn further up because I have the rook that is backing it up. He moves his king. Now I give him check with my queen. He moves further towards the right side of the board and gives me the opportunity to take his knight. Here, if you pay some attention, my queen is not in a very good position because it is kind of trapped right now. It is trapped because, I'll just show you. Right now, if he brings his queen from this point to this point, my queen has no place to escape. So my queen will be forced to eat this rook, because I can't come here because the queen will eat me. I can't come here, the rook will eat me. I can't come here, this pawn will eat me. I can't come here, the bishop will eat me. So he should have ideally moved his queen from here to here, but he didn't do so. Let's check what happens in the game. He comes with his bishop, and I also should have taken steps to move my queen, but I haven't taken. Quite oblivious of the threat right now. He moves his king even further towards the right, and now I move my queen back to bring it to a place of safety. Okay, so now I feel relief because I can bring my queen to a place of safety right now. So I bring my bishop over here, takes my bishop, I take the bishop back, he brings his knight. Now I have brought my queen to this place, which for me is a place of safety, and whatever attack it had to do at the left side, and it has basically uh, drilled a hole over here, and this is a place of weakness for my, this definitely is a place of weakness for my opponent over here. So my queen has basically done its job, and so I need to secure it. I don't want to lose my queen. So in response, let's see what he does. He brings his pawn forward. Now I have done castling because it was long pending. He moves back his knight. I bring my pawn forward. Now, looking at the board now, this pawn is pretty threatening because it is approaching close to the end point, and then it can convert it into a queen, and my intention is to bring it as much forward as I can. And if it is eaten at all, then my backup rook is over here, so it can take if somebody tries to eat it. So I have that plan in my mind, and let's see how the game goes from here. He brings his middle, he brings his pawn to the middle. I eat it up, he takes it back, and I move my pawn, but he doesn't take it. And at this point, he is aiming at my knight over here. His pawn can eat my knight over here, and my pawn can eat his bishop over here. So it is an equilibrium state over here. I move my knight to the left. My idea is to bring the pawn from this position to this position, and from here further maybe I can bring it to this position. He moves the bishop back to a point of security where my pawn cannot eat it. I take my knight more towards the center. He comes to another diagonal with his bishop. Now my knight is targeting its bishop because bishop is very powerful. I want to take it. I am okay to exchange his bishop with my knight. He comes with his queen. I take his bishop. As I told you, I am okay to exchange bishop. His king eats the bishop. And now I thought it's time for me to give it check. I give it check over here with my queen. He moves back. Okay, the king has moved to a different square now. And I move with my pawn more towards the front. Now I can eat the rook, and he shifts his rook there to h1. And okay, now I have moved my knight in a way that his queen cannot take it because my queen is there waiting over there. But here he takes my rook. I didn't quite see it, but there was nothing to worry as my next move was a double attack. As you can see over here, it is actually a triple attack. So he has to move the king so that I can take the rook. That is what he exactly does. He moves the king to a place which is closer to my knight. I take the rook, I don't waste any time. He comes there with his queen. This check was there, so I had to move my king over here. That's exactly what I have done. Here he takes my knight. I take his Actually, I can't take his knight because his rook will take me. So I give it check instead, and he brings his queen on the way. So the check is removed. But this gives me an opportunity to turn my pawn into queen. Okay, so there it goes. This is turning part of the game. Because now I have two queens, so I am definitely in a very good position here. What does he do now? He doesn't take my queen. What he does, he brings his rook to strengthen his place. So in case there is an exchange over here right now, he is going to win from the exchange. So I have that in mind, and therefore I move my queen to give it check. He moves out from the check here, and I am okay to do exchange right now because I have more material right now, so I am okay with the exchanges. I take his queen, he takes it back. Okay, and then let's see how it goes from here. I move my queen at a place where it is launching an attack on its knight directly, so he has to do something about it. He has to move his knight from there. Okay, so he comes and he doesn't move his knight. That was a mistake, so I don't waste any opportunity. I take his knight, and basically at this point in time he's kind of little bit lost hope, and here he resigns. Yeah, so that is the end of this game, and I would say like every game has got something to teach you as a lesson, and in this game I thought the lesson that we could get to see is whenever you are under tremendous pressure by your opponent, you should not be in an escape mode. You should not go into an escape mode. You should also think of launching a proactive attack. In this game you could see when I was attacking from the left, attacking very aggressively, my queen had got trapped at a certain point in time, but he didn't realize it because he was in an escape mode, and therefore he didn't launch an attack, and therefore I got away with it, and at the end of it I won the game. Thank you everybody. I hope you liked the video, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and hit the notification bell, and do like my video if you have found it useful. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.